Trimex College's Social Work Department live webinar. Building up from the inside out, providing peer support in the new normal. We are your hosts, TJ Apple and Werner Palomar. To formally open our program, let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God for our opening prayer.
Lord, I'm
Followed by the
weary.
national anthem of the
My energy is
Philippines.
sagging and my motivation is lagging.
And to be followed by the national anthems of the Philippines, Trimex hymn, and be inspired with the opening remarks of Trimex Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Rito R. Camigla Jr.
Lord, I'm weary. My energy is sagging and my motivation is lagging. And I am so in need of you. I need your strength and your fresh touch to get back on track again. Your word says the joy of the Lord is my strength. If that's true, then I need your joy to replace all the bone-tired parts of my mind, body, and soul. The pressures of life sometimes push me into a corner, rendering me helpless to move forward. 100 voices call my name, and I feel paralyzed at times to answer, not knowing where to turn. Lord, help me not to quit, to keep running the race faithfully, and to find strength in that safe, secret place of yours, under the shadow of the Almighty. I need your strength to say no when I'm tempted to surrender to harmful things, or when selfishness clings to my clothes and won't let go. I need your strength to say yes when cowardice and fear nudge me to deny the convictions of my heart. I need your strength to reach out in love to those both close to me and all around me. When don't I need your strength, God? You are my rock, and I run to you today, believing that you will lift up my heavy arms, that you will fuel me for the task you've given me, and that your joy will completely consume the weakness of my life and make me strong again. I don't want to stay grounded, crippled by limitations and failed attempts. I'm tired of feeble efforts. Lord, I want to mount up with wings like an eagle and not just fly. I want to soar. Renew my strength, Lord. Fill me with your supernatural power to overcome each obstacle in my path. With my eyes on you, Lord, with you walking beside me, working through me, I can make it. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay ginatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig, lupa ng araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
struggle in roads of different ways. Roads may be rough on me, but I'll be strong. You taught me to trust in God that I may go on. But as life continues, I know I'll be missing you. You have prepared me to face the world. Trimax, you are so dear to me. I will uphold your values to my community. You have given me hope, you have shown the light. I want to thank you for what you've done for me. Now the future will be so bright. I want to be my generation's guide. Set an example to live by a truth. To make a difference for tomorrow's youth. But as life continues, I know I'll be missing you. You have prepared me to face the world. Trimax, you are so dear to me. I will uphold your values to my community. You've given me hope, you have shown the light. I want to thank you for what you've done. Trimax, you are so dear to me. I will uphold your values to my community. You've given me hope, you have shown the light. I want to thank you for what you've done for me.
I would like to welcome everyone to the new normal. Alam nyo, maraming pagbabago ang binigay sa atin ng pandemyang ito. Mula sa kabuhayan at pati na rin sa kung paano tayo makikisalamuha. Lahat tayo ay binago ng COVID-19 pandemic. Subalit sa isang banda, ay may naidulot din naman itong magandang aral para sa ating lahat. Katulad ng pagpapahalaga sa pamilya, sa kung ano ang meron at iniingatan natin. Sa nakalipas sa 10 buwan, pinatunayan natin ang tatag ng mga Pilipino. Hindi natin inaasahan ang bilis ng mga pangyayari na halos lahat ay cashless na kung gusto mong kumain, ay magpa-deliver ka. Kung magbabayad ka ng bills, ay pwede na online. Shopping, banking, at kung ano-ano pa. Pero alam nyo, lahat ng yan ay napaghandaan na ng Trimex Colleges. Mula sa online payment, enrollment, records, and even the conduct of classes. At sa hapong ito, tayo ay magiging bahagi ng isang mahalagang gawain, handa para lamang sa atin. Namnamin ang bawat salita at bawat minuto at nawa ay matuto tayo. Maraming salamat at magandang araw sa ating lahat.
We would also like to acknowledge the presence of TRIMEX faculty, Ms. Rachel Cruz, Chief Operating Officer, TRIMEX Colleges, Mr. Rito Camigla, Vice President for Academics and Student Affairs, also TRIMEX Colleges Department, BSBA, BSIT, BA Psychology, BS Accountancy, BS ComSci, BS Computer Engineer, BS Tourism, Teacher Education, BS Office Administration, and Criminology Department and Tech Doc. Okay, so happy afternoon everyone! Happy afternoon po. So kamusta naman po kayong lahat? Excited na ba ang lahat para sa ating webinar? If yes, so pakipusuan naman po. So kapatid, napansin ko na marami po tayong participants.
Yes, kapatid na DJ Apple. So far, una sa lahat, isang mainit at magandang tanghali muna sa ating lahat, sa mga participants, sa mga schools organization na nandito ngayon. So far, meron na tayong 100 plus na participants. Congratulations po.
Wow, nakakatuwa, kapatid.
Yes.
And syempre, kapatid, meron tayo from different organizations and different schools din, mula sa iba't ibang schools.
Yes, we would like to acknowledge the special participation of schools and organization, Adamson University, Central Philippine University, Jaro Iloilo, Don Bosco School Manila, Far Eastern University International Montessori School, Santa Rosa, Laguna State Polytechnic University, Liceo Mindoro College, Our Lady of Fatima University, Philippine Women's University, RCGI, St. Mary Magdalene College of Laguna Incorporation, St. Paul University, Manila, Universidad de Santa Isabel, TRIMEX Colleges and Senior High School, Colegio de Santa Ana de Victorias, Negros Occidental, Laura Vicuña Foundation Incorporation, Daughters of Mary Help of Christians, Schools in the Philippines. So yun, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat na dumalod sa aming participants.
Yes, kapatid. At syempre, meron din naman na mga nag-stars. Ayan. Batiin natin si R. Ian Perez, Ilya Calio, Ken, and Des Adrian. At ganoon din, si Edna Padua Perez from Pangasinan State University. Ayan. And Bayambang Campus, nanonood din sa atin, kapatid.
Yun, maraming salamat po.
Bayambang, Pangasinan. So, hi and hello po sa din. Barida ng PSU, Bayambang Campus, hi and hello, and all students ng AB English students. So, hi and hello po sa inyong lahat. So, sa lahat po ng present po dyan, pa-heart react naman po, pa-star, and your shout out is important to us po. So, kapatid, dahil peer support ang ating topic sa ating live webinar, para sa iyo ba, ano ba ito?
Yun, so napakaganda nga ng topic natin, no? Peer support. So sa akin kasi, peer support occurs when people provide knowledge, experience, emotional, social, or practical help to each other, commonly referred to an initiative consisting of trained supporters and can take a number of forms such as a peer monitoring, reflective listening, or counseling. So, well, ikaw, sa'yo, paano mo ba i-describe para sa'yo ang peer support?
Well, syempre, kapatid, para sa akin, one word. One word, empowerment. Ayan. So,
nice.
Tara na po, matuto tayo at makinig. So, Werner, paki-introduce ng ating guest speaker.
Yun. Pwede na natin introduce ang ating guest speaker. Una sa lahat, siya po ay si Dr. Ian Llanares, RPM, CSIOP. Then, si Sir Ian po ay currently Department Chair of Psychology in National University of Manila. He teaches psychological statistics, industrial organization, psychology, psychological assessment, and positive psychology course. Graduate of Course College of Manila with bachelor degree of psychology. He completed his master degree in industrial psychology and PhD industrial psychology from Eulogio Amang Rodriguez Institution of Science and Technology with dissertation entitled Performance Management Practice in Selected Private Higher Education Institution, Basis for Enhancement of Performance Management System. Before joining the National University, he was program chair of psychology at Metropolitan Medical Center, College of Art, Science and Technology in 2016. He served as the head of community and extension of office and concurrent the CWTS Assistant Coordinator in TIP Quezon City in 2011 to 2016. A psychometrician guidance services facilitator in Technological Institution of the Philippines, Quezon City in 2007. A part-time lecturer of psychology in Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila, PLM, 2014, and the Ocampo Memorial College in 2014 to 2016. He was also author and lecturer in psychometrician board examination. With 10 research publication and propelled by an advocate for voluntarism and positive psychology. Mr. Llanares continued his research on positive psychology and community extension. He is interested in organizing community-based mental health where he brings psychologists, psychometrician, and psychometrists to help the challenged community. Mr. Llanares is also registered psychometrician and a former Sangguniang Kabataan barangay chairman in District 6 in Manila. So, give him a round of applause or virtual clap for Miss Dr. Ian Llanares.
Yeah, and good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to talk about peer support this afternoon. At syempre, this time of pandemic, alam naman natin we are affected with the changing situations and then yung overwhelming activities that we have sa ating mga online classes, lalo na sa mga students natin. Saka yung privacy, kasi if you're staying at home, especially kung hindi naman malaki yung tahanan nyo, then syempre naghahanap ka ng safe space, Minsan hirap kang gumalaw kasi people may listen or watch you over, with what you're doing in your classes. And prior to discussing the topic of peer support, so nilagay ko po yung link ng Slido. So kindly join us in our discussion sa slido.com. Shinare ko po yung link. Okay po. Naka-join na kayo sa Slido? Hi. But then, may tanong agad. What are the options to provide peer support given that we are restricted to provide face-to-face intervention in this time of pandemic? So, well, we can give support pa rin naman using an online, even in chat, using our messenger. So we can do that, chatting support. We can also do Zoom. We can do use any online platform for us to communicate with our colleagues, with our friends. So pwede po yan. So ang kailangan na lang natin na tutukan is yung pagdating dun sa confidentiality, kasi we have to protect yung mga informations that disclosed to us by somebody else. Kailangan maging trustworthy tayo. Kasi hindi lang naman sa pera nasisira ang tao, but including dun sa mga information. Crucial informations, lalo na if we're not given a consent to share our conversations with others. So pwede yan, mode natin is online. And we're here now in Slido. So ang ating code is 680412. 680412. Nakakasunod po ba kayo? Okay po. So, yeah, no? How are you today? So I'd like to, before I start my discussions on peer support, so I'd like to focus first on you. So how are you today? So please type your answer using your cell phone or using your laptop, and please send it to Slido. Feeling good and excited. So I'm good. I'm good, but merong question mark. So I think you're thinking between feeling good and not feeling good at the moment. Very happy and motivated. Stress in online class. Doing fine. Excited. I'm good. Why are you stressed in the online class? Which one makes you stressed? The online class. Tired but happy and productive. Exhausted. We're only in the middle of the day, but you're exhausted. Maybe you are stressed with so many things. Excited and stressed. We're good and happy, excited and awesome. I'm good, sir, but I think you're not sure. Question mark. No. Happy and motivated. Question mark. Excited. Tired. I'm good. I'm good, sir. And tired. I'm good, but I miss talking to people physically. Yeah, I mean, well, most of us, yun talaga yung experience because of the quarantine measures, especially ngayon, no? Na nagkaroon ng NU, tawag dito, yung quarantine natin nagkaroon ng ano ng Metro Manila plus bubbles, no? So restricted na naman yung kilos natin. We have to stay at home to protect us, not only ourselves but including our family members. Kasi nga naman pwede mag-spread ang virus because of the connections, no, with your friends when you go outside, lalo na kung close yung inyong conversation, magkakatabi kayo. So there's a tendency, no? At kasi hindi natin alam saan nanggagaling yung virus. Yun yung isang pinaka-mahirap doon. Feeling fine, I'm tired, I'm good, sir. So sorry for my friend's conditions, but willing to learn. Good, but I'm doing great. I'm happy. It's nice. Pretty good. I'm good, sir, but my internet, not really. Yeah, it's common in the Philippines, no? Hindi naman ganun kalakas yung internet natin eh. Feeling hot because of the sunny weather. Wow. You have to drink water na para hindi ka tawag dito, dehydrate. No? If you feel it's hot. Wish I could be better. Why? Happy and good. I'm good. Though the weather is really exhausting, too hot po. So happy to be able to join this webinar. I'm fine. Physically, mentally tired. Oh, exhausted ka na. Striving to feel better. Surviving po. I'm good. We're good, sir. I want to relax my mind. Feeling inspired. Okay naman po kahit medyo mainit ang panahon. I'm happy but I felt incomplete. I feel love. So mostly of you are telling that you're happy today, and the half are telling that they are tired. Yeah, no? So it's really important that we reflect on our emotions every day, especially the start of the day, because it has something to do with our decisions that we're making. So kapag mainit ang ulo natin, galit tayo, so there's a tendency that we narrow our focus, no? Yung mga alternative choices natin, hindi natin nakikita yun, and consequently, it affects the outcome of our actions. Aside from, so where are you listening this time of webinar? At home, inside my room, sir, you know, it's nice if you have your own room. Terrace. Okay. At the terrace, I'm at home. At the comfort of my home, yes, mostly, I think, are staying at home. So you're listening the webinar at your house, no? Either you are in your room or in your sala, or some in the bedroom. Oh, ayan. At the hallway, province, home at the terrace. Yan, at home po, sir. In my room, but in loudspeaker so that my family will hear it and learn something. At home, sir. In my workplace. Okay. Facebook, in my workplace, at home while eating. In my room. Okay, so maybe we can proceed with the next questions. Now, what are the 2 or 3 words you would use to describe peer support? Okay, so what are the 2 or 3 words you would use to describe peer support? It's empowerment, it's empathy, it's understanding, it's motivation and empowerment. Yes, it's more of motivation because we are helping a person yung merong problema na harapin niya yung kanyang problema. So, we're empowering him na uh, kaya niyang i-overcome yung mga obstacles, no? So, relationship with people, not being alone and lonely, then having someone to talk to. So, that's how we describe peer support. Supportive and understanding, empathy, provide knowledge and mentoring. Okay, support, lifting each other up. Yes. Support, lifting each other up. Availability, empathy, and empowerment. Yeah, importante yung availability when you ask for help to somebody, no, nandun siya to respond to your concerns. Provide practical assistance. Shout out po sa grade 11s, 10, 2, and 1. Okay. Giving guidance, cooperate, amazing, advice and support, so empowerment. So most of your answers talks about empowerment and motivation. So malaking factor kasi ang peer support. No? Support naman is not only we can get from people, yung mga friends natin, no? But including yung church members can be a part of your support system, your family members, your brothers or your relatives, yung mga cousin mo can be part of your support system. And malaking bagay kapag meron kang support system. Kanina sabi, you're not feeling alone because you have support group, and that's true. No? Social knowledge and experience. Lending hand and lending ears. Yan. We are looking for people who are listening to us. There's an intention to listen, not the intention to reply to your concerns. Kasi there are people who are domineering the conversation. No? Parang pag nagkuwento ka, then lahat sinasabi niya yung mga pwede mong gawin. So parang hindi yun yung hinahanap mo at that time. Yeah. This is also. Yeah. Comfort, concern, and care. Yes, our support system become our comfort. And this group also become our care. Kasi dito natin nakikita na through care, na they value us, merong love, and merong understanding, and syempre nandun yung non-judgmental aspect. No? Tanggap ka niya from who you are. Yeah. Acceptance and appreciation, support system. Ayan, so thank you for participating in this one. And then what are the 1 or 2 questions about the peer support you hope to answer at the end of the webinar? 1 or 2 or 1 questions would be that you hope to answer at the end of the webinar. How can I handle my anger when I am too emotional? How to strengthen a person's mental and emotional aspect, especially in these trying times? How can I handle my anger when I'm too emotional? I'm a good support to my peers. How peer support work in this time of pandemic? How to become an effective peer support specialist? How to handle pressure, anger, and stress? Okay, but these questions that talks about handling pressure, anger and stress, particularly stress and pressure, it could be better on stress management. Not all have internet connections. How can we provide peer support offline given the restrictions? How your mental health is important. How to handle anger issues. What is the impact of peer support and personality and behavior of every individual? How to handle my thoughts if I'm overthinking. Paano po magbibigay ng support sa mga taong malapit sa akin with right judgment at hindi po sila na-offend? Ano po bang nararapat na attitude dapat na may pakita sa kanila? Okay. How can I say it is a support or manipulation? Are there types of peer support? How can it be applied on our day-to-day basis? How to support someone if personally you are struggling? How would I know if I was able to give support effectively? How to develop self-confidence? Okay, so some of the questions that you pose about peer support can be answered indirectly, and there are some questions that are related with the topic itself. Ayan. So ano nga bang pag-uusapan natin today? Okay, so ayan, so thank you for participating dun sa ating activities. Now, some of you share na about self-confidence, how they can handle their stress, their anger, and if they are overwhelmed. And then these questions are somehow not related with our discussions. No? Kasi ang learning outcomes natin, our priority this afternoon is about understanding peer counseling, and then the purpose and goal of the counseling. And we have the counseling process, and we appreciate the basic counseling skills. Now, those questions like if I am an effective peer counselors or peer supporter, then this one you can evaluate yourself if you're doing the right thing, especially if you're giving advices to some of your friends. Nakikita na ba yung slides? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Nakikita
sir.
na?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yung part 1 ng ating discussion is about counseling, purpose of peer counseling, and goal of peer counseling. So counseling is defined as a change process in which people are helped to express themselves, clarify their problem, identify non-helpful pattern, learn, identify, and achieve. Ito yung purpose ng this is counseling all about. No? When we talk about change process, there are people na they don't have di nila ma-express yung sarili nila. No? Wala silang makausap. So that's why in a counseling process, you're giving a person to express yung talagang nararamdaman niya. Nalulungkot siya, naiinis siya, naiiyak siya. Meron siyang napagbabalingan kanyang nararamdaman. So nandun yung sa expression ng kanilang sarili. And then these people hindi naman lalapit yan kung wala silang problem. No? And this one help us na to clarify. Okay, wait. Teka lang ha, dalawang screen kasi yung gamit ko eh. Kaya hello. So dalawang screen pa rin ba yung nakikita? Hindi na.
Sir, okay na po. Isang screen na lang po.
So hindi na nakikita yung next slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hindi na. So meron akong audio kasi I received sa chat box wala raw audio.
Meron po, sir.
Yes po, sir. Meron po.
Meron na. Okay. And then
Yes.
clear na tayo na isa lang yung screen na nakikita.
Apa.
Okay.
Opo, sir.
Yes po.
So again, yung counseling is a change process in which people are helped to express themselves, clarify their problem, identify non-helpful pattern, learn, identify, and achieve goals. So ang purpose ng counseling when we talk about change process is yung personal growth ng isang tao. No? Kasi if we are overwhelmed with our problems, sometimes hindi tayo makapag-isip na maayos eh. And that's where peer support come in. So, malaki yung naitutulong kapag meron kang support system kasi you have someone to talk to. And they help you to identify what's really the issues, what are the problems that are bugging you. Kasi baka mamaya, sa dami ng problema, ang nakikita lang yung pinaka-surface, but not the real cause, the real cause of the problem. Pwede kasi yung isang problema nagsanga-sanga lang. Yan. And then you have to identify and have a common goal that a person can work out. So also part of the learning, part of the counseling process is to identify yung mga non-helpful pattern na meron yung isang individual. Ano ba itong mga non-helpful pattern na yan? So this one has something to do with yung sa kanyang thoughts, no? Mamaya may mga self-defeating thoughts siya. Yan, no? May mga thoughts siya na unproductive, no? Destructive, na hindi nakakatulong sa kanya. No? So these are being part of the counseling, and this is how person help. No? Yan. So sabi nga ni Michael Smith, transformation in the world happen when people are healed. So that's why it's important na merong counseling. Ano bang purpose ng counseling? So the first one is to change behavior. So thoughts and the behavior of the person. Kasi a person having a problem can be unproductive, irritable, no? Short yung kanilang patience, no? And through counseling, through helping them out, assisting them to their problem, there's a way na mababago yung behavior nila once na-address yung pinaka-concern and issues, including yung mga default nila on their thoughts, no? Sa kanilang mga iniisip. So ano ba yung mga iniisip nila na hindi nakakatulong, such as na yung nakaka-apekto doon sa kanilang self-esteem. Alam niyo, pag mga high school students, college students, ang nakaka-apekto dyan lagi is yung kanilang appearance. Ganda ba ako? Pangit ba ako? So, mga ganyang laging issues. O kaya naman, may kaya ko bang gawin to? Parang feeling ko hindi ko siya kayang gawin kasi sabi nila ganito, tanga-tanga ko. So, yun yung nasa kanyang thoughts. So all of this on the counseling has been addressed. Yan. And then number 2 is assist the individual towards self-knowledge, self-realization, and self-development. So a part ng counseling is help individual understand themselves. Karoon sila ng awareness with themselves and realizations about their problem, and leading to self-development. And they understand how to positively deal with their problems, no, yung mga positive ways how they can work out their problems. So kung titignan nyo, yung point of our discussions about peer support, nakafocus doon sa counseling o yung tinatawag natin na talk session. Okay? And then the other purpose of the counseling is to, of course, no, support yung positive mental health. Kasi if we're doing counseling, we are helping the person solve their problem, and then nakaka-reduce yun ng anxiety, ng stress nila. So it contributes sa positive mental health. So tayo sa prevention side. Kasi sa peer support, when you're providing peer support, these are people who are normal, no? Ang problema lang nila ay sa kanilang adjustment. Yan. And then problem solving or decision making. So we are helping people, empowering them to make their choices. Yan. And then personal effectiveness. So those are the purpose of counseling. And then when we talk about peer counseling, it is a support and assistance provided by trained peers. So we form a group. At itong mga group ng students, you can train them on how to conduct basic counseling, and they can be peer trainer. No? Sila yung mga pwedeng maging peer facilitators. So yan po ang peer counseling. And ang peers are person shares a common identity and experience. Kaya natin tinawag yan na peer. So if you're a high school student, and then somebody who are giving support to you is also a high school students, because you have common identity and experience. Yan. Sabihin natin ng peer. So ano po bang goal ng counseling? Ang goal po ng peer counseling is number 1 is to provide relationship. You can establish a relationship, a friendship because of having this peer counseling. So that's the number 1. And when you're establishing friendship, You know that there's an individual who are accepting you from who you are. Yan, kasi minsan ang mga hugot ng mga kabataan is parang hindi nila tanggap yung sarili nila whenever they make wrong decisions in life. Whenever they failed at some point, parang hate nila yung sarili nila. And a person who is listening to them, yung kanilang mga peer support, can be of help by creating a positive relationship with the sufferer or a person who needs help. Ayan, kanina nabanggit ko na din, it can reduce anxiety. Ayan, it can reduce anxiety kasi pag meron tayong mga problema in life, there's a tendency na because of these problems, we confuse na tayo, di ba? Yung emotions natin, we are confused. We don't know which one to address kasi sa dami ng concerns. Yan. Then, the another goal of the peer counseling is to accept responsibility. Ayan. Kasi a person with overwhelming stresses and problems has tendency to point his finger to other people sa kanyang mga mistakes, sa kanyang mga pagkakamali. And yung peer support mo, yung peer facilitator mo would help you to recognize that you have also you have a responsibility problem. You have responsibility on your choices. And part of this goal is to deal with the problem. Dito pumapasok na ini-evaluate yung mga choices ng isang tao kapag meron siyang mga problema. With the outcome, pag ito yung pinili mong solusyon, so sa tingin mo makakatulong pa sa'yo. So yan, dealing with the problem. So we're helping the person to deal with the problem positively. Kasi yung iba, the way they deal problem is through smoking, through drinking, na in a while, no, na andun yung nare-release yung tension mo when you smoke. Tapos pag ikaw naman nakakainom, nakakatulong yan para to feel good. Pero that's temporarily. Hindi pa rin hinaharap yung problema mo. And your problem will never be solved. Kasi either you are ignoring or you are delaying. And then improve sense of self. Yan. Through the peer counseling, it helps an individual na tumaas yung kumpiyansa niya sa sarili, on his choices, yan yung kanyang worth as a person. Yan. So, who will you help if you're a peer facilitator? Who will you help? Anyone in a state of indecision who is distressed in any way, whether psychologically, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. So these are individuals who are overwhelmed with their problems at hand, no? Or directly dealing with life problems. Ayan, no? So these are people, halimbawa, na stress na sila sa kanilang academics online, tapos may nagkasakit pa sa family na positive sa COVID. So talaga naman grabe yung stress na mararanasan ng tao na yon, no? Tapos yung mga expenses pa nila dahil hindi makakapasok yung daddy niya sa work. And all of these things. So these are the people who are candidate that need support at kailangan nyo silang kausapin. Ayan. So peer support values the following. So number one, so yung mutual support. There are sharing of stories, strategies, fears, and hope. Ayan. Kasi yan ang isa sa binavalue ng peer support, no? Tapos value number 2 is about power together. So dito ang nasa driver's seat is the person himself, na yung sufferer. Ibig sabihin, nasa likuran lang tayo or nasa tabi niya lang tayo to push him, no? Bigay tayo ng encouragement, pero the person itself, siya pa rin yung magdidictate ng kanyang buhay. Siya pa rin yung gagawa ng decisions niya. That's why it's called Power Together. We're not overpowering him and we are the one deciding for him. So, mali po yun. No? Kasi all of a sudden, so wala na siyang gagawin kundi umasa sa'yo. So, sa pagpapacilitate ng peer group counseling, no? Peer group support, so we have this what we call the individual session and group session. So if it's an individual session, so it's a one-to-one. It's between you and your, between the individual na mayroong problem. Ayan, kayong dalawa lang yung nag-uusap. Ayan. Pero pag sinabi natin group sessions, these are group of individuals who have the same concern or the same issues. So nasa isang grupo pero pare-parehas kayo ng problema.
Hindi pa itidaan na.
Yan. So yun yung
lagay ng
pwedeng
damit sa
i-facilitate at pwedeng pag-usapan. So, pakimute po. So nasa group session yan. So halimbawa ng mga sa group session, halimbawa, no, itong 5 student na to meron problem with their love life. Sama-sama sila ron. O another group naman meron problem with their family, their parents. So sama-sama sila doon. And bakit merong group session? Kasi there are individual who are not comfortable with individual sessions at feeling niya kasi sa ano na yung problem niya is sobrang bigat na, no? Pero dun sa group session makikita niya na there are also people who are suffering like him. And this will help a person also to open up to share his own stories. Yan. So tandaan lang na it depends on the needs of the group and the skills of the facilitator who will handle the discussions. If you're gonna do these group sessions. Okay, so proceed tayo dun sa tinatawag natin na counseling process. So we are yung counseling process, we have the initiating session, we have gathering the data, goal setting, working, and terminating. Okay. So this is our activity 1. Ayan. So Annie has 4 classes today and one of them required to submit reports. The others on assignment and quiz, the relative will visit their house too. Annie is getting overwhelmed. She looks around. Her house is a mess. So magiging pa niyang bahay. Her cat has been sick at home and she knows she has to stop at the grocery store later to pick up food and other supplies. She realized she will have to miss her 1 class. So she just noticed her shirt is on backwards. She thinks to herself, I don't know how am I going to get through this day. Yan. Okay po, so pabasa po yung activity na yan, yung kay Annie, and then we'll proceed po ulit sa ating Slido. Ayan po yung link. Okay po, so ito yung ating code 680412. Okay, so what could Annie do to ready herself for her upcoming appointments? So dun sa activity 1 natin, Annie has 4 classes. So, yung kanyang mga classes demands to submit reports, and some of her class demands to submit yung kanyang assignment and quiz. And after that, ayan, no, her relatives will visit her house too. So maybe there's something, celebration at home in which she needs to stop at the grocery to get food. And then yung bahay niya ang kalat-kalat. No? Then yung pusa niya may sakit pa. So how could Annie do to ready herself for her upcoming appointments? Planning about time management. The very first thing she must do is to calm down. Okay, so kailangan niyang pakalmahin yung kanyang sarili para makapag-isip siya ng maayos. And part of the time management is to prioritize, no, mga activities which one he needs to address first. Prioritize what seems to be important. So kailangan niya i-rank yung mga priorities. Then separate all her tasks and out in a separate time. First, calm down, then prioritize the things that are important. Okay, the very first thing she must do is to calm down, planning, rank yung priorities, prioritize her studies first, and ask support of her or help from her family. Ask help for those who are available. Prioritize her family first. Kailangan niya pong mamili at unahin ng importanteng bagay. Fix her shirt first. Don't pressure herself. Calm down, think of which one is the most important, easier to accomplish, and on hand. Those that will be affected, she must raise her concern by talking to them. Studies, no? Don't pressure yourself. So at this point, parang hindi natin masasabi na hindi niya mapipressure yung sarili niya dahil number one, nagsabay-sabay na yung mga kailangan niyang gawin. Kailangan niya pong mamili na importanteng bagay. Breathe, calm down, then prioritize. Okay. So, ayan. So, thank you for your sharing. So, nakikita na ulit yung PowerPoint.
Opo, sir.
Yes.
So, ang tama na may mga sinabi niyo na that Annie should calm down and then prioritize things and then i-manage niya, manghingi ng tulong, no? And this one is telling us na yung ganyang activity is it's really important that we are attending. Naka-focus tayo with our activities, with our priorities. Kasi you cannot prioritize things if you don't focus on it. You have to attend, no? Consciously attend to which one of the activity will have to accomplish prior jumping to another activity. So just like in counseling sessions, sa mga counseling sessions, meron tayong beginning, middle, and the ending. So sa counseling process, merong beginning yan. So pwede mo tignan yan in a goal na within after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, na successful yung support na ibinigay mo sa kanya, then you're going to terminate the discussions. Yun, no? At importante that dun sa sa counseling process is the first one is the initial session. Ayan, so we have to focus on building relationship. So in the initial session, we have to focus on building relationship because if you're a peer supporter, madali lang magbigay ng support sa isang tao pag kilala mo na siya. Eh paano if this is something that this is your teacher or somebody else asks you to help this person? So papasok ka sa isang peer group or magpa-facilitate ka sa isang peer group ng counseling or sa isang tao na wala namang common sa inyo, na wala kayong relationship. So that's why, that's the first thing that you have to build. Now, ano yung connection yan sa activity natin kanina? So, ang connection doon, yung problem ni Annie is we can, on building relationship, it's really important that we show attention. So sa initial session natin is kailangan ma-build mo yung rapport, no? That sensitive ka with how you talk with the person, no? At ano yung context ng problema ng tao, dapat somehow nakakapa mo yun during the conversation. Pero prior to that, no, we have this what we call SOLAIR on listening to understand the person. So the first one is you have to sit yourself towards the peer. So pero this one is since na face to face and it is not possible dito sa online. So I think it's important na naka-focus ka on the online conversation with the person. So kapag yan ay nasa Zoom, kapag yan ay nasa aside from sa Zoom, we have MS Teams and other platform. So make sure na yung attention mo dun sa Zoom nasa kanya. Then open your posture, so avoid natin yung naka-cross yung ating hands, so yung ating balikat, kasi kailangan open your posture at telling to the person yung body language natin that we are listening and we are not rejecting yung kanyang mga sinasabi. So it's part of how we can build support dun sa online. Then lean towards peer. So this one kasi puro applicable to sa sa face to face eh. But this is what we do when we have this face to face counseling, yan, or face to face peer support facilitation, no. Yan, lean toward the peer and then establish yung eye contact, and then you have to show na you are relaxed on the camera. So when you're doing the online peer counseling, yan. So dapat nandiyan yan, no? Makita niyo na mapalagay siya sa iyo, no? Komportable siya sa iyo. At pag alam niya naman na during the discussions, no, hindi ka siya inuusgahan kasi ang isang tao, iba't iba ang personality. Eh. There are people who are easy to share for them yung mga challenges and issues nila. There are people who are difficult to talk to. Hindi sila basta-basta nagtitiwala sa tao at hindi sila basta-basta nagdi-disclose ng information. So, kaya kailangan start mo yun with the friendship. Siguro with the light discussions, yung mga um, something that is not talking about the problem kasi wala pa naman kayong wala pa naman kayong um, relationship by that time. So anything preferences by the person pwedeng pag-usapan that makes her comfortable. And pwede mga likes and yung mga likes niya pwedeng pwedeng i-consider yan with the discussion of the person. Uy, ni-refer ka sa akin ni ganyan, ako pala yung magiging mentor mo, ganyan. O, kamusta ka na? Yan. Tapos, mahilig ka ba mag basketball? Or mahilig ka ba kasi ngayon meron kaming ginagawa na na activity. Baka you can join us online. Alam mo, maganda yun. Marami kang mamimit doon. Yan. So these are just some way how to connect with people na wala kayong relationship sa isa't isa. Kasi medyo challenge yan online to relate with the person na you never met, and so you have to start somewhere else, no, para makuha mo yung kanyang loob. And then pagka nagkaroon na ng kapalagayan, siguro saka pa lang mag-start na mag-open yung tao ng kanyang mga concerns. Yeah. So that's the first one, no, sa initial conversation mo with your peer. Then we have this gathering the data. So we're talking about the stories, yung concerns and problems and issues niya. Kasi a person who go to you, they have stories to tell. So you have to listen to their concerns. So after getting their support at willing na silang na mag-share, and then ayan, no, may mga ways how you can get their concerns. You're listening to their problems or to their stories. We have this what we call clarification question, in which you are seeking information, you are clarifying yung words and phrases na ginamit niya. So anong ibig sabihin mo niyan? Kasi sabi mo parang pag nakikita mo yung taong yan, kumukulong ito. Anong ibig sabihin no para sa iyo? So you let the person explain, no? Kina-clarify mo yun. Meron din tayo mga elaboration questions na ginagamit natin when we're talking with the clients, no? Pwede mo bang bigyan pa ako ng mga iba pang information tungkol diyan kasi parang nabitin ako ng konti. Ano ba yung tinutukoy mo dito? Yan. Kasi you have to dig sa kanyang problem. So pag iniisip mo itong yung mga concerns, itong yung mga problema, paano mo naman nasabi na galit sa iyo yung tatay mo? Paano mo nasabi na galit sa iyo yung nanay mo? Yan. So meron kang mga challenging questions na pinibigay sa kanya. So part 'yon ng data gathering para makuha mo talaga yung problem niya. Before nung facilitator pa ako sa TIP, so may mga students ako nakakausap. And some of them, pagpunta sa office, pagpunta ron sa cubicle, dun sa isang room, ginagawa yung counseling. So, dali lang, no? Hi sir, dito ako kasi ganito ganyan, no? Ito kasi yung concern ko merong iba, no? Ang bilis nila mag-open. Meron naman iba na pagpunta doon, siguro almost 2 hours na discussions namin at first. It's very difficult kasi the person don't really want to visit the office. Pinorse lang siya ng kanyang nanay para pumunta. So kaya kailangan nakikinig tayo, tapos yung gestures natin napakahalaga no. Pagtango-tango natin, pag nakikinig tayo sa problem niya, signifies na Okay, so tuloy mo lang yung kwento mo. Okay, sige. Tapos, so nakikita niya na nakikinig ka. So kasi yun naman ang intention ah, ng peer mo na lalapit sa iyo. Lumapit siya sa iyo kasi mayroon siyang concern at gusto niya mapakinggan siya. Kaya ikaw, pag nagtanong ka ng questions, iwasan mo lang magtanong ng questions na close-ended. No? Kailangan yung tanong mo laging open-ended yung questions para makakapag-respond siya. Don't give questions that are answerable by yes or no. Okay. Kamusta ka naman sa bahay? O, kayo bang magkakapatid? Magkakasundo naman ba kayo? Bakit mo nasabi na ang problema mo ay sa academics mo? Mataas naman ang grades mo. May mga probing questions ka. Support yan if you are gathering informations with the person. So part ng data gathering, so meron tayong mga assessment strategies. While listening to their problems, nakikita mo yung coping levels nila. Nasaan, ano ba yung ginagawa nila pagka may problems sila. So na somehow nagkakaroon ka ng idea how they respond to their challenges, yung kanilang problem. Nakwento mo na ba ito sa nanay mo or sa kapatid? Hindi po. Sinasarili ko lang ito, mga ganyan. So, din yung lalabas. So, resources and referrals, yan. Then, evaluation of the situation is part of the assessment strategies, no? You're deciding if the person suffering is really out of your concern or pwede mo na siyang i-refer sa iba or can be worked out. Then you are exploring the alternatives. Ano kaya yung mga pwedeng gawin para matulungan siya? Ayan. Then if you're exploring the alternatives also, you are determining which one is appropriate dun sa kanyang concern. So these are all part of the assessment strategies when we are gathering informations about the person. Ayan. So tandaan natin yung peer support group, itong peer counseling natin or itong peer support group natin. So these are people who are normal. These are people who are just having some little problem with their adjustment, no? Emotional adjustment or adjustment on their academics. So yun lang ang problem nila. So kasi pag beyond that, may limitations din naman kasi ang peer counseling. So kung if you think na yung support na ibinibigay mo would not really be sufficient, would not help the person, then you can refer it to an expert. No? Who can provide yung kanyang kailangan. So part of the process ng counseling is also you have to set a goal. So you have to ask the person, the peer, about his own visions dun sa kanyang mga overwhelming life issues o yung kanyang mga problems. Yeah. So may ang understanding ko kaya ka pumunta sa akin kasi I'm going to talk about this. So ano bang plano mo? Dahil magkagalit kayo ni ganyan. Ano bang plano mo dahil bumababa yung grades mo? Ano bang plano mo? So you're asking that there's a workable goals between you as a peer facilitator and the peer. Itong mga lumalapit sa inyo na merong problems. So there should be a shared vision between the two of you and that's something that you're going to work out on the rest of the sessions or that you have. So yan, part ng working sessions nyo dun sa mga meeting na meron kayo is you have to explore the alternatives. Yan, ini-explore mo pa paano ka ba makakatulong. Tapos dito, dun sa kwento niya sa'yo, kung merong mga irregularities on the stories, then you have to confront the person. Ay, alam mo Ian, meron lang akong gusto i-share kasi parang napansin ko, sabi mo kanina, ang problema mo talaga, eto. Bakit sa nauna mong shinare sa akin, parang hindi naman siya lumalabas sa story. So you have to point out no, yung mga irregular dun sa stories. Pero don't wag mong lagyan ng masyadong tone for that kasi baka maging intense yung discussions at baka hindi siya defensive yung tao. So it's important na um, na yung ating gestures at yung ating tone of voice are calm pa rin, saka medyo soft yung ating voice para um, talking to the person is makapag-open up siya. Kasi importante yun na makita natin yung mga irregularities doon. Kasi you're working out, ang goal ko dito, Ian, is to help you. So, importante sa akin na malaman ko yung mga details doon sa nangyari sa'yo. Sabi mo kasi kanina ganito. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin sa'yo nito? Bakit parang may observation ko, ito yung details, tapos ito yung sabi mo, ganyan-ganyan. So, front yun doon sa confronting irregularities doon sa stories ng peer na tinutulungan mo. So you have to point it out so that he can he can clarify those issues para ma-explore niyo yung mga alternatives na pwedeng gawin to work out. No? So importante naman dito kasi yung tao nga is overwhelmed because of the amount of problems na nagsabay-sabay. So part of the alternative is you give the person the choice. No? Bahala siya mag-desisyon dun sa problem. Pero ikaw, pinapakita mo lang yung mga different alternatives sa kanya. So sa palagay mo, pag ito yung gagawin mo, ano yung magiging resulta? Sa tingin mo ba magkakasundo kayo ng nanay mo pag ganito yung ginawa mo? Sa tingin mo ba mas tataas yung grades mo pag ganito yung ginawa mo? Sa tingin mo ba na nasa hospital na yung nanay mo because of COVID, makakatulong kaya sa kanya kung hindi ka pa rin mag-aaral? So, ino-open mo yon. So, and then you let the person decide for those alternatives na or mga choices na available sa kanya. We're not overpowering or the one to give the decision for him. No? We let him understand. So pinapakita lang natin yung mga different angle na hindi niya nakita. Kasi if a person is angry, if a person is mad because of the problem, alam mo narrow yung thinking nila So may mga blind spot dun sa mga stories nila. So hindi na nila nakikita yung na mali yung ginawa nila or hindi nila nakikita that sometimes problem are just part of a way to improve ourselves kasi hindi naman mawawala yan Yan, so lahat ng tao kasi mayroong problema So all these things, no, part na yun ng inyong working dyan. So you let the person realize what yung mga kanyang consequences ng kanyang mga actions, in the positive and the negative consequence ng kanyang actions at paano siya magre-response dun sa mga different problems na encounter niya. So, meron akong isang counselee, so she's so difficult. So tagal na kasi yun siguro mga 2013, 2014. Facilitator pa ako. Ang problem niya, bali yung guard ng school, pinagmumura niya. Pinagmumura niya yung guard ng school. So ang ginawa ng guard ng school, dinala siya sa OSA kasi sa student affairs kasi hindi siya nakikinig dun sa guard. And she's creating issues outside. So sa gate. So ang ginawa ng guard, dinala sa OSA, sa Office of the Student Affairs. In the Office of the Student Affairs, talk also with this student. Kaya lang wala rin nagawa yung discipline office kasi inaaway sila ng bata. Yung bata sobrang sungit. So what they did, dinala nila sa guidance office. nagkataon na yung program niya, ako yung nag-handle. So, kailangan ko siyang kausapin. So, the first 2 hours of our discussion is not healthy, no? Hindi okay kasi doon siya nagwawala sa room, nagalit siya, minumura niya ako, tapos although hindi ako nagsasalita, nakikinig lang ako sa kanya kasi this is the first time I met her. So, alam ko merong problem and alam ko na that this person is in trouble. Kasi feeling ko wala siyang mapagsabihan. Feeling ko wala siyang ano. And then hinayaan ko lang siya for 2 hours na nagsasalita na nagagalit siya sa akin, nakatingin lang ako sa kanya. And then until nung siguro napagod siya magsalita, so I invited her to lunch, no. Tayo ng canteen, kain tayo. Yan. So after namin kumain doon, tapos balik kami sa room, then kinausap ko siya, doon pa lang siya nag-start na magkuwento na ang pinanggagalingan ng problem niya is hiwalay yung nanay at tatay niya. At nakita niya yung nanay niya may inuwing ibang lalaki at yung tatay niya sumama na sa ibang babae. So that's how na-confuse siya sobra kasi hindi niya alam kung kanino siya sasama, kung sa nanay or sa tatay niya. So yung family niya biglang nagulo out of that. And the most difficult thing on the story is their family is known to be religious. They are in a religious community. And so they are, kaya siya talaga iba yung naging epekto sa kanya. And so hindi lang naman isang sessions 'yun kasi kung ang peer support discussion niyo is 1 hour lang, so dapat talaga meron kayong maging goal that you have to accomplish within the 1 hour period. Nagkataon lang sa akin by that time na within the day is wala naman akong ibang kakausapin kaya I can extend na up to 3 hours na makausap siya because hindi ko rin naman din pwedeng i-let go na somehow wala kami naging agreement dalawa. Yun. Until binabanggit niya na yung mga problem niya. Yan. So tapos kung may mga irregularities sa story niya, so tinatanong ko na siya, paano mo nasabi na ganito yung nanay mo? Na yung lalaki na nasa bahay niyo ay din yung kinakasama ng nanay mo. Nakita ko po kasi natutulog sila sa isang kama. Mga ganyan. So, part yan ng working. Part yan ng working. Confronting the irregularities, showing the alternatives. And then, bina-workout mo na yon, so nandun na yung pinag-uusapan nyo, showing all the possibilities na pwede niyang gawin to confront his problem or her problems. And then after all, the last part of the counseling process is the termination. This one is generalizing and acting out a new story. So, ito yung after the person na handle niya na yung problem niya, nagawa niya na yung mga decisions for her problem. So, ito na yung last part, yung terminating ng inyong counseling or yung support group na yan. So kasi 'di ba? Although part pa rin siya ng support group na anytime kung meron siyang gusto ina-advise, so she can visit the office. Pero or the person can talk to you pero hindi na yung parehas ng dati na nandun siya sa isang session. Yan. Kasi you have to terminate kasi importante na matulungan mo siya na makapag-decide sa kanyang mga problema para matuto din siya na tumayo doon sa kanyang sariling paa, matuto siyang tumayo doon sa sarili niyang paa na i-handle yung mga problems. Hindi effective ang peer counseling kung every now and then babalik siya sa iyo pag mayroon siyang problem. Lalo na kung yung problem niya is diba? So importante na part of the empowerment is emotionally, yung kanyang emotional control sa na-exercise yun, no, na natulungan siya. Kasi part yun ng news story na nakita niya that the problem are only a way for become better, challenges are there, failing is just a process, failure is the outcome. So if you are failing, so there's a way pa to cope up sa mga challenges. So dapat yun ang bagong life story niya, bagong narratives na ikikwento niya na guminhawa yung kanyang pakiramdam, naging maayos yung relationship niya. So sa kanyang magulang or sa kanyang mga kaibigan, sa kanyang academic, so part na yun ng termination. Kasi yung goals nyo, na workout nyo na and you accomplish your goals. So yun ang counseling process. Okay? So ano ba yung mga basic counseling skills na kailangan natin tandaan? So if we are a peer facilitator, so yung mga basic counseling skills is the vocal qualities. Yan, yung tone of voice. Tone of voice, the volume, specifically, dapat we are sensitive to that. No? Baka mamaya may kipag-usap ka tapos di mo napapansin ang lakas-lakas pala ng boses mo. So pwedeng iba yung maging impression niya sa'yo. Feeling niya galit ka. Yeah. Pace, no? And pitch. Mamaya ang bilis-bilis naman pag nagsasalita ka. Hindi niya pa nga nadadigest yung tanong mo, nagtanong ka na naman ulit, may another tanong ka pa. No? So we have to take it easy, no? Or on the counseling. Yan. So importante yan kasi doon sa boses mo mapapansin naman nila na na you are also interested with their story if you're listening to them. Yan. So importante na magpakita ka rin ng emotions kung kinikwento niya, no? Kasi para hindi rin ma-invalidate yung kanyang nararamdaman. Alam mo, iyan, kung ako siguro yan, ganun din yung mararamdaman ko. Masakit talaga yun na ito yung nakita mo na nagwala yung nanay at tatay mo. So, ganyan. So, part yan, no? Vocal qualities, that's number 1. And then number 2 is yung mga non-verbal skills. Posture natin. Meron tayo dyan, softy. Ayan, softy. Smile. Okay, so smile. So it can promote friendship. Ayan, if you are smiling. You are also telling to a person that you are interested listening to their story. Then open your posture. Open your posture. Ayan yung kanina nabanggit ko. So if you're listening from, if you are having this online platform for your peer counseling, don't kung yung iba kasi nakikita yung pati yung braso nila, yung kamay nila. So huwag natin i-close yun para ma-feel nila that we are really open to sa kanilang mga dinidiscuss. Eye contact. So ang irrelevant ngayong time na to yung touch. So hindi natin mapakita yan, no? Eye contact and then head nods. Ayan, It's simply showing that we are following their story. So, yan. So, it's really important, no? Baka kasi akala nila hindi ka nakikinig na nakaganyan ka lang, parang kang teddy bear sa screen. Tapos hindi ka naman nagalaw. So, yun. Yan. So, you have to tell them. Yung mga magic word nga dyan, okay. Yan. So, part yun, doon naman yun sa voice. Ito, sa non-verbal, yung kilos natin that we have also to be aware. Yan. Kasi kung yan ay nasa Zoom meeting, baka mamaya bukas ang TV o kaya may parang binabasa ka. So, nasa-sense nila yon. Maybe I have to look for another person to listen to me. Kasi parang hindi naman siya interested. Ayan. So, yan yung mga non-verbal skills that we have to consider when we are facilitating a basic peer counseling. Okay. So effective peer counselors, ayan yung sa judgment niya dun sa problem ng tao. Yan. Naman yan, no? Also, aside from that is yung yung acceptance. Kailangan kasi maramdaman nung tao na mayroong problema na aside from willing ka makinig is nararamdaman niya na tanggap mo yung mga kinikwento niya, no? Lalo na kung malaman mo yung mga negative things that he do or she do in life. So, kailangan makita mo na you are not making any judgment dun sa ginawa niyang decision. Kasi in peer counseling, ang center or highlight dito is yung taong mayroong problema. Hindi ikaw. So, minsan kasi may mga language, alam mo kung ako yan, ganito yung ginawa ko. So, nagkakaroon ng transition ngayon. Anong nangyari? Ikaw na yan. Hindi na yung client or hindi na yung peer na mayroong problema. So, let's avoid that one, no? Kasi hindi naman yung kailangan. Pwede ka naman mag-share ng ng stories mo, no? Pero not like that na yung tone is shifting from the client to you. Kasi the center of the discussion is about the peer. Yung may problema. So, aside from that, yung patience and acceptance mo sa kanya kasi there are people who are not easily to share their problems and there are people who are having irregularities with their stories. Yan. Experience also, we can we can practice this one, practice so that we can be better and we can be effective peer support group or peer counselor or peer facilitators. Yan. So sa education, then you have to to help yourself to understand yung mga different models, different framework na ginagamit for counseling. Pero make sure that the peer counseling only focus on supporting a person with problem. You're not providing therapy. Kasi number one, it requires a lot of training for you to become therapist. Okay. So it's more on evaluating yung kanyang stories, yung kanyang problem, and just letting him shows yung mga hindi niya nakikita. Kasi we have to enlighten her or we have to enlighten him doon sa kanyang mga problem. So in this way, you can become an effective counselors. Also, dahil yan ay peer counselors, no, kayong mga students na tutulungan yung mga kaibigan or kaklase nyo, isama natin na sa pagiging effective peer counselor is yung pagiging trustworthy. Pagiging trustworthy. Kasi kanina, no, may introduction, so hindi lang sa pera nasisira ang tao, kundi pati sa mga information. And this information are stories that are told to you that you're not supposed to tell to anyone. Okay? So meron lang mga pagkakataon na kailangan i-violate yung mga kailangan mo i-violate itong mga stories na hindi mo kailangan i-share. Halimbawa, sabi niya sa'yo, gusto niya na magpapatay. So yun, kailangan mo talaga sabihin yun sa immediate family. Kasi that's all, because that's a life-threatening. Pero kung ang kwento niya lang naman sa'yo ay galit siya kay ganito, kaya siya na-stress siya kasi bagsak siya sa ganito. Yan, so yung mga ganong stories, huwag mo nang i-kwento. So, nasa if that is a life-threatening issues, so you can share the conversation to other people. Life-threatening or harming sa sarili ng isang peer, or it could be life-threatening to the life of other people kasi galit siya dito, gusto niyang abangan sa labas, sasaktan niya, so on and so on. Or sisirain niya sa Facebook. So, pwede mo sabihin yun para maitama. Pero the rest can be between the two of you. Yan. Yan, kasi nagiging controlling ang isang situation if the information will be used to blackmail a person. So hindi ka na effective counselor tapos hindi ka pa nakatulong. Kadagdag ka lang sa problem ng tao. Yan. So we have activity 2. And Jaya is working with Joe, an 18-year-old who seemed these days to be in disagreement with everything Jaya says. So lahat ng sinasabi ni Jaya kinukontra ni Joe. The other day, when she suggested that they go for a walk, si Joe ay sinigawan siya. So he yelled, "Then you are always asking for me to do stuff I don't want to do." Reply ni Joe, "I hate going for walks. Walks are only for old people. I don't want to do anything with you." So yun ang sinabi ni Joe kay Jaya. Okay? So, natin i-slide. So, if you're Jaya and you are the peer facilitator, so anong gagawin mo pag ganyan ang reaction ni Joe sa'yo? Hello, anyone?
Sir,
Yes?
pupuntahan po ba ulit yung link po?
Ha?
Pupuntahan po ba ulit yung link o doon na po mismo sa may page po na Slido?
Pwede na dito sa sa chat group.
Okay po sir, thank you po.
Chat group na lang kasi nahirapan ako mag-transition eh. Lalabas ulit tayo sa sa PowerPoint pag Kaya dito na lang sa sa chat group natin sa Zoom kayo pwedeng mag-reply. Kung meron tayong comment dito, may mga tao po na narinig lang ng kakaibang information tapos ipinagkalat na sa iba. Kaya po nawawala yung pagiging trustworthy. Anong specific Anong information yung narinig? So kailangan pagka naging peer facilitator kayo and you are the one providing peer counseling, kailangan meron kayong commitment. Na commitment nyo in the sense na those information will be protected. Shouting at someone does not level up the argument. It's just making it worse. Yes, no? Talagang magiging worse lang yung situation when you're shouting with a person. But the person who is shouting wants to emphasize na makinig ka sa sinasabi niya. Maybe Jaya could ask Joe calmly, what's the problem? Siguro po kailangan po lahat i-apply yung user sa patient. No? So if you're attending many training about peer counseling, mas magiging magaling kayo. At you can apply those things that you learn from the training that you attended for peer counseling. Kasi di ba nga kanina sinabi ko that an effective counselor, an effective peer facilitator is accepting at accepting siya tapos mataas yung kanyang patience o yung self-control niya sa sarili, especially if you're handling a difficult peer or a difficult individual like Joe, in which lahat ng sabihin mo is kinukontra niya at hindi niya pinakikinggan. And he's yelling at you. Okay? So when we are navigating conversation with difficult people, we have to reflect and hear what the peer is saying and demonstrate understanding to the peer's perspective, experience, concerns, or position. So yung sa situation ni Joe, so kailangan natin pakita kay Joe that we understand. Ayaw niya, and we start uh, to reflect, no, to understand bakit ba ayaw ni Joe na akong pakinggan, ayaw niya rin sumunod sa akin. Part yun ng iyong maging reflection. Then relate to the peer's perspective. O sige Joe, ayaw mo naman maglakad-lakad, ayaw mo din akong pakinggan, ako ang makikinig sa'yo. Ano bang gusto mong sabihin? Ano ba yung gusto mong gawin? At sasamahan kita. Okay. So aside from relating to the peer's perspective, we have to redefine. So redefine the way you move forward instead of an argument. So work with the peer to find a way for the two of you to come together with a plan. Kasi kaya it's difficult to establish a conversation with Joe kasi mataas pa yung kanyang defense, no? Mataas pa yung kanyang defense para sa kanyang sarili. So, dapat doon, unti-untiin, no? Na kailangan ay you relate now with true kindness, being soft, is mako-convince mo rin ito si Joe na maging at ease on your conversation with him. Yan, sooner. Pero don't shortcut the process. Kasi pwede namang gamitin mo na akong peer facilitator, akong dapat masunod. Pero walang mapupuntahan yun. Okay. Yes, chat box. I experienced the same. Kinausap ko lang po siya, pinakinggan ko kung ano yung mga hinaing. Yeah, then nag-asa ko sa kanya kung ano ang gagawin naming dalawa to meet in the middle. Okay, so that's nice. Then a good facilitator knows what is best at the given situation, know how to deal a person needed. Some people need space. They sometimes ask for it in a different way, like raising arguments. People that could probably be, pero the person who are refusing to discuss those or to make conversation with you is probably that point of conversation, yung ipapaliwanag mo sa kanya is something that would hurt him. And he was afraid to listen. That's why he was not really up to listening to you. Kaya ayaw niya makinig. Or if I were Jaya, I will just let Joe to walk away. Hayaan lang muna siya, manahimik din ako as Jaya. Yes, this is also possible, no? Pero kasi pag hinayaan mo lang si Joe na mag-walk out and you're the facilitator, hindi naman nababalik sa'yo yan susunod. So kailangan, bago siya umalis, is somehow na meron kang konti man lang na process. Kasi you are assessing Joe kung ano yung mga pinaghuhugutan niya, mga problema niya. Kailangan po ipakita ni Jaya na concern po siya kay Joe. Pakinggan po muna kung ano ang dahilan. Kaya lagi pong nagkakaganon si Joe. Yes, exactly. Saka ibibigay yung nararapat na advice at dapat kalmado lang sa pakikipag-usap. Number one that you have also to consider is hindi naman at sa lahat ng pagkakataon is kailangan natin magbigay ng advice. Minsan nga ang kailangan lang natin gawin ay makinig. Yan. Tapos galit din yung facilitator, then mas lalong nangyayari at di siya magiging effective na facilitator. Yes, hindi siya magiging effective kasi number one, di ba, when we are establishing a conversation with a person, is you have to establish a relationship. Ayan. And for sure, pagka nakapag-reflect si Joe, marirealize niya na this person, Miss Jaya, is really a good counselor. Kasi nung time na ako ay mainit ang ulo, hindi siya nagalit sa akin. Hindi niya ako gawan or hindi siya nagpakita ng anuman na para husgahan ako. So, mas ma-appreciate ni Joe yun. I will talk to her and ask if there's a problem that she want to discuss. Yan. Siguro later yun pag nakuha mo na yung loob ni Joe at umalma na siya. Yan. Kakausapin ko siya kung bakit palagi po siyang galit sa akin. Baka po kasi there's something wrong siyang nakikita sa akin kaya ganun siya sa akin. But syempre, we need to be patient. If Joe is a peer who are referred to you by somebody para kausapin at para tulungan, I don't see a point na meron siyang hindi nagustuhan sa'yo para hindi siya sumunod at hindi siya makipag-usap. Ang isa lang dyan na nakikita ko is a person na mayroong mga problema, lalo na pag lalaki, is hindi naman ganun kadali mag-open up. Okay. At yung problem na yun is cover up by the intense emotions na pinapakita niya. Hindi magagalitin. So, yun lang yung surface, no? Ayan. Yan. Mahirap po na maghiwalay sa session na pag-uusap na walang closure. Yes, pero yun, no? Kailangan talaga i-friend mo siya eh. Kasi parang mapabalik mo to sa counseling session eh. Lalo na yung mga sessions that you have, hindi naman all the time kayo mag-uusap. Minsan 30 minutes or 1 hour lang. Importante na as peer facilitator, meron kang goal in mind. Ano yung kailangan kong gawin sa araw na to? Sa araw na to, kailangan maparamdam ko kay Joe na nandito ako sa kanya, para sa kanya. Sumusuporta ako. Sa araw na to, kailangan may ipakita ko kay Joe. Nakikinig ako sa kanya. Yun lang ang goal mo within the day eh. So pag tapos na, nakita mo na kung ang usapan nyo ay 2 o'clock to 2:45, 5 minutes na lang. Uy Joe, salamat sa mga na-share mo sa akin ha. Alam mo, yung mga problema naman, alam mo ba, natututo din ako sa iyo, ganyan-ganyan. No? Tapos, usap ulit tayo sa susunod. Pwede ka ba ng gantong oras? Ayan. Kasi the first one is you have to really have a relationship with this person para you can go on with your session. No? Kasi pagka hindi mo naayos yung part na yun, so you cannot expect that this person will return para magkaroon ulit kayo ng another point for conversation. Kaya pag pinakita mo that you are interested with Joe, you like listening to his story, at hindi ka nababagabag dun sa mga pinikwento niya na feeling mo is really something that is bad yung ginawa niya, pero nandun ka lang para makinig, that person will return, no? I assure you. Kasi alam niya na I don't get any judgment from this person. I don't get any rejection from this person. Makikita ka niya as a friend. Susunod, siya na yung mangungulit sa iyo para kausapin mo siya. Yan. So, the difficult conversation with Joe is an opportunity to establish a better relationship as a peer facilitator. And that's all. So thank you for your participation this afternoon. And also I encourage you to like my Facebook page on the Strengths Writer and visit my website www.strengthswriter.com. Thank you everyone.
Ayun, at maraming salamat po, Doc Ian.
Alright, ayan. And syempre maraming salamat sa ating guest speaker, Dr. Ian Lenares. Napakahusay, kapatid, at napakalinaw, detalyado, and very informative. So kung may mga questions po kayo, ayan, so pwede po kayo mag-comment sa ating chat box at sasagutin yan ng ating mahusay na guest speaker, Dr. Ian Lenares. So kapatid na Werner, while we are waiting sa may mga katanungan, shout out muna tayo. Marami-rami na rin yung nasa ating chat box.
Okay, sige. Maraming salamat ulit, kapatid na DJ Apple. So, ayun na nga. Muli, thank you po ulit kay Doc Ian Lenares para sa ating webinar. Shout out ulit dun sa mga special schools or organizations na dumalo sa ating live webinar.
Yes, and kapatid, may mga estudyante tayo from ICT 3M1 Grade 12. So hi and hello po sa inyong lahat. Ganon din sa ating ICT 4M1 or 4MI Grade 12 students. Hi and hello. Ganon din sa Grade 12 students ng HMU or HUM, SS4M1 and HE12. And sa ating mga ka-web students sa BSSW, hi and hello po sa inyong lahat.
At binabati ko nga pala, shout out nga pala dun sa mga nanonood sa ating Facebook Live.
Yes.
Ayun, maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta.
And sa ating chat box, kapatid, marami din ang nag-comment dito gaya ni Gabby Lim or EC Samson. So, hi and hello sa inyo from Panpan. Ayan, magandang tanghali po sa lahat. LBFK and Edralyn, magandang hapon. And Vanessa K. Orba, hi and hello. Ganon din kay Miss Bioli, blessed afternoon to all. Miss Emmy, Karamay, India, welcome everyone, have a blessed ahead. And Jeneline Bahar, so hi and hello. Ganon din kay Teng. From Davao, grabe, kapatid, nakakaabot tayo sa kung saang lugar.
Yes, maraming salamat. At meron na nga tayong nabasang question dito, kapatid ng DJ. DJ Apple. Mula po kay Ma'am Donna Gorano.
Yes, Miss Donna.
Question niya po is, how to end up session after the counseling? There are times that a client has a lot of concern to share with, yet there are other clients waiting for their turn.
Yeah, so ating malaman yan kay Dr. Ian Lenares.
Yes.
Ano daw? Sorry
yes sir, sige po. Galing po kay Ma'am Donna Grano po. Sinasabi niya, how to end up session after the counseling. There are times that a client has a lot of concern to share with, yet there are others clients are waiting for their turn.
Okay. So, it's not part of the peer support, no? Kasi kung yan ay counseling talaga na ginagawa mo, so kailangan meron ka talagang goal when you meet the client, no? At ikaw ang merong control ng agenda for the discussions, no? Kasi if you have the client has a lot of things to say and a lot of concerns, no? Kaya niya yung isang buong araw para ikwento yung lahat ng concerns niya. Kaya control mo dapat yun, yung agenda niya. So pagpasok niya pa lang sa sa room for the session, kailangan explain mo na ang goal natin for today is ito dito muna tayo mag-focus ngayon so that we can maximize our time. So dapat lahat yun nakalapat, no, na masabi na maigi with your client, and then monitor mo na kailangan yung discussions would only go dun sa agenda for the day para ma-terminate mo rin yung discussions on time at makapag-focus ka with your other clients. So pwede mo sabihin, saka na natin pag-usapan yan, dito muna tayo mag-focus. Kasi di ba sabi mo, ito yung iyong main concern. At ang goal natin ngayon ay tignan natin kung bakit ka mayroong problema sa iyong relationship with your ex, ganyan. Huwag mo muna isama yan sa discussions. Ito muna tayo, okay? Tapos susunod, pagbalik mo sa akin, yan naman ang pag-usapan natin. Yan. Ay, alam mo, ang dami mong, ang dami kong narinig na, na stories mo ngayon. Salamat ha. Kaya lang, we have to terminate our discussions for the day kasi I have to talk also to other people who are waiting to me outside. Ayan. Anong araw mo gustong bumalik? So at least yon, lahat yon, nasabi mo sa maayos with your client. Basta ang pinaka control ng usapan nyo is yung umpisa pa lang, maset mo na yung agenda, set mo na yung expectations for the day, at gaano katagal yung flow ng inyong conversation. Yun po.
Okay, so yun pala dapat, kapatid na Werner. Pero meron akong isang nakita dito na question, Doc Ian. Do we need to mention po yung name? So tingin ko naman pwede naman po. No? From Jeneline Bahar, sabi niya, meron po ako na magulang na masyado pong ignorante. At hindi nila pinakikinggan yung aking sariling opinyon at tuloy-tuloy lang po nila akong pinagagalitan. Paano ko po maipapaliwanag sa kanila ang aking sariling opinyon nang nakatuon po ang kanilang paningin at pandinig at hindi sila biglang magsasalita ng kung ano-ano?
Okay, so ang concern niya doon is, number one, hindi siya pinakikinggan at lagi siyang pinagsasabihan. Tama po ba?
Apo, Doc.
Okay, tapos ang tanong niya is, ano yung dapat niyang gawin? Yung parents niya, ganon.
Apo.
Okay. Hindi naman may iwasan sa magulang na masalita, kasi nature ng parent is ano bang tawag dyan, yung to mentor you lagi ka mapagsasabihan, kaya lang minsan gusto mo rin na pakinggan ka muna. At there are many different approach na pwede mong gawin. Pwede mo silang sulatan, in a letter. Dear Mommy, a separate letter. Dear Daddy, sana naman pakinggan nyo rin ako sa mga concern ko. Kasi nahihirapan din ako, ganito ganyan. State mo sa letter yung hindi mo masabi sa kanila. So that could be one approach. Or another approach is you can talk to them one by one. Si mother mo yun nandyan, so you can start a conversation with your mother. Yan. Kasi pagka lagi ka rin napapagalitan, mamaya it's possible na dahil may problema, may mga problemang mag-asawa or may problema sa family, sa mga finances, sa ganyan. So may init ang ulo nila, so there's a tendency na mapagalitan ka. At masasabi ko lang, your parents are not perfect, but abaan mo din yung pasensya mo kasi nagkakamali din sila. At you need to have a way to connect with them individually to your parents para may parating mo din yung gusto mong sabihin. And don't forget to be nice with your conversation with your mother or your father regarding your concern. Talk to them privately. Yun po yung masasabi ko doon.
Ayun. So, thank you po, Doc Ian. So,
may
meron
po dito, sir. Sa
yes.
Chat box.
Sige po, sir. Galing po
kay... Ang sabi... Yeah, sir, I have a question po. Okay lang po ba na nag-note habang nakikipag-usap sa client? Hindi po kaya possible na ma-offend ang client at akalain hindi nakikita? At akalain hindi nakikita ang isang practitioner o hindi nakikinig ang isang practitioner? Well, you have to ask permission to the client kung pwedeng i-record yung inyong conversation at kung okay lang ba sa kanya nagsusulat ka. Kasi importante lang naman pag nagsusulat ka is yung mga key points during the discussion. Yan. Kasi kung ikaw ay practicing yan na yung practicing counselor ka or yan na yung nature ng ginagawa mo. So, importante na meron ka talagang record ng inyong conversation. Kasi nung nasa guidance pa ako before, meron talaga kaming counseling form kung saan sinusulat namin yung maging discussions with me, with the client. And I asked for hindi ako ng consent kung pwede kong i-record kasi hindi naman lahat is pwede mong isulat. Kasi mahati rin yung attention mo pagka sasalita siya, sulat ka ng sulat eh. So yung mga key points lang na flow ng discussion o yung mga themes na nakita mo dun sa story niya. Yan. So hindi naman din masama yun. So makaka-offend yun kung hindi mo in-state yung reason at hindi ka nang hingi ng permission to write during your sessions.
Yun. Maraming salamat, Doc. And lastly, Doc Ian, may isa pa po tayong question dito. Galing po kay Kevin de la Cruz. Ito kasi, how important is non-verbal communications in peer counseling? Yun.
Very, very important. How important is non-verbal communication in peer counseling? Shout out from Pasay City. Hi sa mga taga-Pasay. Stay at home tayo. Stay safe from COVID-19. At syempre, very important yan. Kasi mamaya, nakangiti ka nga sa kanya, pero yung braso mo naman, yung kamay mo, is parang non-accepting with your peer. So, kailangan familiar tayo doon. Kasi itong mga nanghingi ng tulong sa atin, sensitive sila. They notice if this person are interested to hear them or if not. Halimbawa, may ginagawa ka, biglang lumapit sa iyo itong mga to, you drop everything, drop everything what you're doing and focus on them. Because when you're engaging in peer counseling, you have to give your attention. You have to give your attention. Diba nga yung kanina, yung first activity natin, yung kay Annie, although the problem of Annie is on stress, overwhelmed sa mga activities, pero ang gusto lang natin i-emphasize doon is the first thing is yung focus and attention para ma-accomplish mo yung isang activity. And sa peer counseling, kailangan ang attention mo nakikita ng iyong client at nararamdaman nila. Eye contact, yung pagngiti mo, at yung kilos mo, yung hand gesture mo, yan, yung body position mo, yan. So, importante yan. Kasi ikaw, as a peer facilitator, ganun din ang ginagawa mo. Binabasa mo yung tone ng voice niya. Kasi mararamdaman mo kung malalim yung pinaghuhugutan pag panay ang hinga ng malalim eh. Tapos hindi agad nagsasalita, alam mo, may masisense ka din. So, importante ang non-verbal cues, no? Importante ang non-verbal communication. Yan.
Yun, maraming salamat po ulit, Doc Ian. Ito na lang.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ian Linares, for taking time from your busy schedule to be the guest speaker at Trimex College's Social Work Department.
Maraming salamat din po sa inyo.
Yes.
Medyo nagulat lang ako at ang dami ng audience.
And syempre marami po kaming natutunan and also lahat ng mga nag-comment sa ating chat box, talagang inulan tayo ng mga questions, inulan po tayo ng mga papuri din, Doc Ian.
Salamat po.
And kapatid, mention na natin yung mga shoutout natin, yung ilang mga nag-comment.
Yes, sige kapatid, pwede na natin simulan. Shoutout po tayo.
Okay, kay Danila Sombria. So, hi and hello, Danila Sombria and Jeneline Baharia. So, hi and hello, Janet Rubis. Nena Navarro, hi and hello. At ganun din kay Nina Jessa Halyares. kapatid.
Okay. Shoutout po kay Ma'am Maria Lourdes Archibido from Women and Children Crisis Center, Santa Rosa City, Laguna. Yun, kapatid, muli po inaanyayahan po namin ulit kayo na mag-sign po dito sa atin evaluation form. Nasa may chatbox mo. Nasa chatbox po yung link.
Okay, so supportahan po natin ito. Kailan ba ito, kapatid Amor?
Pwede na silang mag-sign dito after ng ano natin.
Pwede na silang mag-register, yes.
Yes.
And kapatid, dagdag lang natin na may mga nagpapabati lang mula sa iba't ibang school. Si Rizalyn Paningbatan, Isabel Prias Kagampan from Pangasinan State University. Bayambang Campus, hi and hello po sa inyo lahat, AP English student. And also to Mariel Pascual, ayan, ng TSU. So hi and hello. And to Criselda Jr.
Yan, muli at maraming salamat po ulit sa Trimex Colleges and sa senior high school. Maraming salamat po. At sa lahat po na nag-participate na mga schools and organization, again, maraming salamat po. At nais ko po palang mag-greet isang mabuhay at congratulate sa ating mga social worker.
Yes.
Happy social work.
Yes. And also, kapatid, batiin ko ng Cristina Cabrera ng Los Baños. So, hello po sa inyo lahat. And Nova May Chavez. And kay Miss Rose, nanonood siya with us, Miss Rose Barrientos. Kapatid.
Yun. So, napaka talaga na itong webinar natin ngayon. So, okay na, no?
Yes, so tsaka kapatid, ang dami ko ring natutunan. Para sa iyo ba, ano bang natutunan mo mula sa ating guest speaker?
Yes, kung tutuusin gamit na gamit to, especially sa mga katulad ko na nag-aaral ng social work.
Yes.
Siyempre, kailangan yung support natin dito. Then, yun, lalo ngayong pandemic, talagang kailangan to ngayon. So, ikaw, DJ Apple, ano ba yung may a-apply mo dito?
Well, for me, I learned that peer support involves responsibilities. And peer support, kapatid, is when we each take responsibility for voicing our own needs and feelings. And that each of us needs to understand that we are not there to take care of the other, but that each participant is responsible for making sure na lahat na pakikinggan and kung papaano mo dadalhin yung bawat sitwasyon ba, yung mga mahirap ng sitwasyon, ganyan, na kung paano mo lang siya magiging smooth, magiging madali lang, ganyan.
Yun, mukhang talagang
talaga
nam mo yung webinar natin ngayon. Muli, maraming salamat po, Dr. Ian Linares. Andito na po tayo upang pasalamatan po kayo. At tanggapin niyo po ang award ang certificate na ito. This certificate of appreciation is hereby presented to Dr. Ian Linares, RPM, CSIOP, in grateful recognition of his time and effort in sharing his knowledge and expertise in today's webinar entitled Building Up from the Inside Out, Providing Peer Support in the New Normal, awarded by the SWAYS Social Workers at Your Service. Given this 27th day of March 2021, signed by Miss Adrian Clara C. Bueta, President of SWAYS, and to Ma'am Emmy V. Karamay India, RSW, MSSW, Program Chair, Social Work Department. Muli po, congratulations at maraming salamat po. Yun, kapatid. So, Doc Ian, tanggapin niyo po ang certificate na ito. Maraming salamat po sa inyo sa time na ibinigay niyo po sa amin upang madagdagan po yung mga knowledge po namin sa araw na ito.
And syempre, mas marami pa siyang matutulungan, di ba? And napaka-importante, napakahalaga ng bawat mga sinabi niya, bawat share niya sa amin. Lalo na nasa panahon tayo ngayon ng pandemya. Di ba? Napaka-importante ng peer support.
Yes.
So, thank you so much, Dr. Ian Llenares. God bless you po and stay safe po.
And God bless din po.
And kapatid.
Yes po. May gusto po bang sabihin si Doc Ian? Baka may message po sila.
Yes, thank you sa Trimex for this opportunity sa binigay niyo. No? At salamat sa magagaling natin na MC afternoon. At yun din, no? Kindly visit my website www.strengthswriter.com saka yung aming Facebook page, The Strengths Writer. Yun lang po, maraming salamat po ulit. Saka kay Sir Christian Ranche, regards.
Yun. So maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much.
Miss DJ, pwede na ba tayong...
Okay, so tayo sa awarding. No? So, dito na tayo sa closing remarks. Yes, closing remarks by Miss Emmy Karamay India.
Yes, before we end up,
Hello, so good afternoon everyone, and what a day it has been with Dr. Ian Llenares. So thank you very much, Dr. Ian, for really walking us through this peer support webinar. Ano po, sa totoo lang po, my heart is really overjoyed. You know why? Because this webinar is really peer support in its real sense. Okay, so for us who was given the task to come up with a webinar like this, so we never knew na ito yung mararating namin po sa ngayon. Ang dami pong umattend. So we are thankful with the warm acceptance of our invitation to all the schools and organizations that participated. So talagang dito pa lang damang-dama natin ang peer support because we want to learn, no? We want to learn how we will be able to provide the much needed help that our peers need. Okay, at marami po dito ay social workers din at social work students. So itong peer support talagang importante po din sa atin ito. Being in the helping profession kasi most of the times tayo yung nagbibigay ng support, so kailangan din somebody has to give us peer support also. Ano po, so sometimes we feel emotionally drained, so kailangan meron pong ganito from our group na palalakasin ang bawat isa. And one thing we learn from this webinar, ano po, is the humanistic approach, no, to counseling, no? This is really putting our clients or those people needing the assistance at the center. Okay, sila po yung superstar sa ating helping process. Ano po? So we acknowledge their ability to find solutions to their problems. Kaya kung kanina may mga nagtanong po, paano kaya competent na ba ako to be to provide peer support? So wag po kayong nervyusin kasi ang importante, ito na-capture ko yung sinabi ni Doc Ian kanina. So this is from Stephen Covey. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. So by just giving an understanding heart, we can really provide peer support to people who are in need. Kaya importante na talaga pong pick upin natin lahat ng mga micro counseling skills na natutunan po natin ngayon para tayo ay makatulong din sa atin. So sabi ko nga kanina, actually I was the one asking kanina kung paano walang internet, paano kung wala tayong online connection since hindi pwede ang face to face. So we can also make use pala, pwede na rin palang peer support yung mag-text ka doon sa nangangailangan ng support mo, tumawag ka, yung I'm just a text away or a chat away, yung mga ganong sinasabi natin. So it is our way of saying na hindi ka nag-iisa. So and again, thank you very much po at sana dun sa mga hindi po nasagot yung tanong, Dr. Ian, if you will allow us, can we email to you their questions? Kasi ang dami
yes
ko
po.
pong nakitang mga question na I'm sure gustong-gusto po nilang malaman yung inyo pong sagot. So, or if
Yes po,
you
Ma'am
can
Emmy.
provide your email, how you can be contacted, will that be okay? So,
Yes
if
po,
they
pwede
will
pong
ask,
through Facebook. Meron po tayong
okay.
Facebook, Ian Lenares. So, hanapin niyo lang po.
Okay, so
And you
yes.
can chat me sa Messenger.
Okay, so Dr. Ian here is really very kind. Ano mo po for accepting our invitation. Talagang malaking bagay na po para sa amin and we are really really thankful, Dr. Ian. So, sana po ay talagang maramdaman nyo kung gaano kami nagagalak at we are very proud to have you here with us. So thank you, and for all the 100 plus participants that are here, I hope you will still join us tomorrow because tomorrow will be the conclusion of our social work month. So sa mga social workers po dito at social work students, maybe you know the godmother of social work book, the author of social welfare and social work, Professor Telmely Mendoza. So, yun po yung ating pinaka-final event. So, I hope you will still be with us. You will still be with us tomorrow. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Ian. Special mention to Professor Christian Miranda, one of our faculty member, for bringing Dr. Ian here. Ayan, so thank you and for giving us this concept na ito talaga siya yung nag-suggest, ito po yung ating gawing topic. So, and we really benefited from it. So, thank you very much and God bless everyone. See you all tomorrow.
Yun, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Emmy.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Emmy Karamay India sa inspirational message. And kapatid, meron tayong syempre, may message. So, para sa lahat, thank you so much po muna sa ating kay Dr. Ian Llanares. Muli, maraming salamat po. And kay Miss Emmy Karamay India, thank you po ulit. At sa lahat po ng umaten, sa lahat po ng participant para po sa ating webinar, isa puso at isa-isip po natin ang bawat natutunan po natin mula sa ating guest speaker, Dr. Ian Llanares po, para sa peer support po. At sa buong po ng Trimex Colleges, Social Work Department, all schools, organizations, sa lahat-lahat, ayan, maraming salamat po. And kapatid, message mo.
Yun, again, maraming salamat po, Dr. Ian Linares. And yun lang, habol ko lang, please like and share our page, Trimex Colleges Social Work Department. Yun, so Ma'am Emmy India, maraming salamat din po sa pagtitiwala na binigay ninyo po sa amin. And yun, so God bless everyone.
And kapatid, may we ask the committee in charge to take a last picture before we end the program.
So, yun.
May we ask the participants to please open your camera so you will be seen in the photo.
Yan. Okay, open na po ba lahat ng ating mga cameras? Okay, so smile lang po tayo. In 1, 2, 3, smile. Yan. Isa pa. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes,
So,
okay.
yan.
Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat po ulit sa ating almost 150 plus na participants na dumalo. Nagbigay ng time nila. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, at bukod pa dyan, kapatid, yung mga nanood din sa atin sa ating FB Live sa Trimex Colleges. So,
Yeah.
thank you po.
Okay.
Yan, so sa muli po, and kapatid, muli invite po natin sila para sa ating webinar na kanilang susunod na aabangan.
Yes, para po bukas. Social workers are essential. Bukas po yan, Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. po. Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yung link po nung susunod na webinar ay makikita niyo po doon sa aming Facebook page na Trimex Colleges Social Work Department. Muli, maraming salamat po and have a great day.
Thank you so much po. God bless everyone and stay safe po.
Thank you. God bless everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe,
Bye
everyone.
po. Salamat po. Thank you po.
Shout out po kay Sir Christian. Kay Sir Christian.
Josephine Pan.
Thank you for coming. And
Pwede pa po sila mag-sign dun sa natin, sa Google form para dun sa ating evaluation.
okay, sa mga Salesian Sisters, Don Bosco School, Laura Vicuña Foundation. So, mahal ko kayo. Salamat po sa pagpunta.
Thank you po.
Maraming salamat muli sa Adamson University, Central Philippine University, Jaro Iloilo, Don Bosco School Manila, Far Eastern University International Montessori School, Santa Rosa, Laguna State Polytechnic University, Liceo de Calauan, Occidental Mindoro State College, Our Lady of Fatima University, Philippine Women's University, RCGL, St. Mary Magdalene College of Laguna Incorporation, St. Paul University Manila, Universidad de Santa Isabel, Trimex Colleges and Senior High School, Colegio de Santa Ana de Victorias Negros Occidental, Laura Vicuña Foundation Incorporation, Daughters of Mary Help Christian School in the Philippines. Maraming salamat.
Kapag ko lang kapatid, third year Psychology at Roger del Valle, Panimpatan, Isabel Diaz, Tagampan ng Pangasinan State University, Bayambang Campus, AD English Student, hi and hello po sa inyong lahat. And kay Jocelyn Bautista Desperas, hi and hello po.
Find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea.
Thank you for this baby. I love you guys. Thank you.
If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of.
Okay.
Congrats po, guys.
Okay, so wala na tayo sa FB. Congratulations! Galing, galing. Mr. Grace Adore, you are here. Mr. Grace, thank you for coming. Ayan, pwede na tayo maging spontaneous. Yes! Sino po yung mga kakilala ko dyan? Ay, ito, ayan. Nag-social distancing kayo kanina, ha? So, Miss Edna.
Di ba malayo, ma'am.
Hermie Dasol, you're here. Team, can I talk to you for a while? Pero baka hindi na dito. May emergency lang po tayo for tomorrow.
Okay po, ma'am.
Shout out Kuya Jason Tibayan.
Trabaho muna tayo konti. Mamaya na tayo matulog. Alam ko nga, konti tulog nyo. So, in off naman. So, congratulations to our host natin, no? Si Apple and Werner. Nako, talaga naman. Palakpakan yung mga sarili.
Naamoy ko na lumpia.
Ay, di kayo nag-order eh.
Oo nga.
Di bale, sa sunod. Okay, saan ba tayo mag-meet?
Google Meet na lang.
Pwede? May lakas pa kayo? Google Meet muna tayo para kapagpahinga na si Sir Vincent James. Ang galing. Thank you for the assistance, for the kind assistance. Okay. So,
may klase kasi kami ni Apple.
Ngayon?
Parang nakamig ng Elaine.
May classic kayo ngayon?
Klase ko kayo ngayon.
Ite, sige, mag-klase muna kayo. Later na lang, 8 o'clock. Okay lang?
Kasi ganito, meron po kasi ako hindi po pala natapos dahil po kasi kanina, busy na po kasi ako. Ngayon, hindi ako natapos, tatapusin ko lang po kasi
okay.
Ano po kasi
student mode muna tayo. Kayo pala. Student mode. Pwede 8 p.m. tonight. Okay? Sige, kasi isasama ko ulit si Doc Arnigo. May konti lang tayong polishing kasi may mga concerns lang for tomorrow. So we have nearly 300 registered participants for tomorrow. Medyo malaki yung grupo natin bukas. So, kaya carry yan. No, 300 lang naman.
Tayo na ba mag-ooperate o backup na tayo?
We will take over. I'm telling you now. We will take over. Kaya I'm calling an urgent meeting mamayang gabi. Okay? So, alam na yan nila.
Ma'am!
I love you guys.
Ma'am!
Oo, yes. O, sige. So, goodbye. Pahinga muna tayo.
Bye po.
Bye.
Vincent.
Sir James Vincent, thank you very much. Sister Grace, thank you. And those who are still here, thank you very much, Sir JC. Bye-bye.